Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers. Welcome to another edition of Airy Sky Read a Leaf video blog. I'm Airy Sky. So you guys are probably wondering what's going on in the world of checks and so forth. Well, I got some interesting news for you that came out this morning. I had to dig it up through other channels. So,
drinking this.
So Lindsey Graham turned around and he basically said half to 2/3 of the Senate is not going to be voting for the second stimulus package. So currently it's dead on arrival. Mitch McConnell said as soon as it gets delivered, are you going to go back and forth?
Yes, I am, because I have stuff I'm doing right now.
So
chicken, right?
Yeah.
Spicy tomato.
So basically what's happened is Lindsey Graham stated that the American people is going to see no one vote on this bill.
Is it soya tonkatsu?
Yeah, soya means chicken. Or you can look at this one that says spicy tuna, whatever. Just there. To frost that, we're good. So I got to get the thing set up soon to do dishes. So basically what's happened is Mitch McConnell basically turned around and, said it'd be a couple weeks to get some passed. Well, a couple weeks is big news for people because they're hurting big time. The American people are suffering. And yet, so many people currently are hoarding and hoarding and hoarding. And because they're hoarding, apologize about earlier, I just want to keep getting my coffee and stuff and sit down, settled in, talk about the video, get it done without having, sometimes I think these subsidized apartments are meant for one person, even if it's a 2-bedroom. That's how I see it.
That's how small the kitchen is.
Well, I'm sorry, but I used to have a mansion for a kitchen in one of my apartments. I loved it too. The damn thing was huge. But they never gave me a nice large. Well, the dining room was about half the size, I missed the dining room. But anyways, enough about my apartment, all right? We're talking serious business here. So, a couple updates for you this morning in the stimulus package. Thing is there's a leaked memo going around right now until it's confirmed by the Republicans. And the Democrats aren't going to budge anyways.
Oh, son of a bitch.
And now they just want to go and ruin my video. Mitch McConnell's bill is going to come out, right? And and right now the unemployment's going to go from $600 to $200. Basically, it's basically a crapshoot. They're basically going to cut out what's holding the economy together and trying. This is what I think. Okay, there's two things I have theories about. One is a theory about going back to work, okay? Going back to work. Now, proposal cuts unemployment by $400. So basically what they're going to do is give you a $200 check. Now, another thing that's really interesting is the White House is proposing Melania, or however you pronounce it, to update the White House garden during a pandemic. Is it just me, or is there just throwing money out there? He can't get his FBI building, so he's going to throw out money that could help the poor with the White House lawn. Now, you guys are probably wondering, what's so special, what's going on, etc. Well, besides this heat wave, which keeping me inside, I'll tell you. The American people are suffering, but the problem is there's too many people out there belly aching, all right. So let me put it to you this way. Mitch McConnell stated over the weekend it'd take a couple weeks for the bill to get passed. And, right now there's 9 business days left till they go to recess. Unfortunately, they can't get it hammered out in 9 days because, let's just put it this way. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern time, 2:15. And there's no bill yet. If they drag it out, then they'll say, oh, well, I got to do it tomorrow. I promise tomorrow. I mean, literally, it's like they're basically sitting there throwing it out there. I think what they're doing is stalling it to see what the American people do. And the American people are furious on YouTube. A lot of them are going to vote him out. I'm sorry to say, but if you're sitting around on a bill, if you're sitting on a bill, right? And you're sitting on that much money, yeah, you are going to basically be, seeing what the American people say, so you can change it before, Right now, I have a couple theories here. Okay, one, the White House wants to do a backup plan of payroll tax credits, which won't happen. Democrats won't budge, and the Republicans won't budge, so that's dead on arrival. But if half to 2/3 of the Senate Republicans in the House out of 100, and Democrats won't vote, which is 45, and the majority, etc. I think that's going to basically be the bill is dead on arrival, which means no one's going to see another stimulus check. They're not going to give in. And the Democrats might cave into a lesser amount, but the Democrats aren't going to cave in either. I mean, look, you got a lot of questions out there this morning. $200 over $600. Why 600? Why not 600? Why not 500? Why not cut it to 500? That doesn't work for 4 months. Give 400. Balance it out. Just keep dropping it, and until the economy is getting better and people can get back to work. Unfortunately, I'm always saying these lazy people, but in this situation, the economy is going to tank, and I think the American people know this. I mean, literally, as they said, the thread of the Constitution is hanging in the balance under the Nixon administration. Remember, you've got the thread hanging from the balance, and yet no one in their right mind is doing anything about it. That's what's really sad, because the American people, they're suffering to no end. They're suffering to no end. And this is what saddens me, is I have to get up off of my butt. I got other things to do, game reviews and stuff. But, the thing is it's fine because today's Monday. Tuesday I got an appointment with my doctor, so it'll be up early. Then Wednesday I got a better deal, all right? But here's the deal. Wednesday, all right? Every day gets us closer to the end of the month. Now, the Democrats supposed to leave for August 1st vacation. Unfortunately, they refused. They can't hammer out something a couple weeks. So right now, they're hoping that unemployment benefits will be retroactive. Unfortunately, this time around, it doesn't look like unemployment benefits are going to be boosted either to what's needed. The American people know that without the $600 thing, I know Pee Wee said, that, in certain states, in Washington, the average base is $208. So if you take $208 and $200, that's $408 a month. You're barely surviving unless you live in like some ritzy hotel type thing, right? So it just adds to the damage, Excuse me, I'm just trying to find my books because I gotta go into my study today if I can find my books. Here it is. One of them. Anyways, I'll have to have Chloe to help me with the other one later. But anyways, enough about that right now. So I got my book ready for schooling. So basically, religious thing. But anyways, so basically what's going on is the American people, right, are turning around and they're basically furious. I mean, literally, Pee Wee and I basically figured that everyone unemployment would be getting probably $100. Well, that's why I figured 100 to 200. I actually figured 450, figuring 70%. But right now, with the way things are looking, and it's almost 2:30 in the capital time, the American people are upset and they're furious. They're furious because their stimulus checks aren't, Now, earlier you guys heard me say something. Chloe got mad thinking, I was addressing names of her. Actually, I was addressing the names of the guy upstairs and the dog who was barking. That's why I call Moppy a bastard at times, because he was oofing like crazy and wouldn't shut up long enough for me to, and Chloe, upset me to a point because, the kitchen's small and, I have to deal with this. But the title is explanatory in the title. There is no money, okay? I've said it myself time and time again, unless there's something concrete. Too many bait switch people turned around and are clicking on this, doing that, trying to get that. Now, I've said it time and time again, unless you're going to basically turn around and accept the fact that there is no money, none whatsoever. I mean, literally, where is the money? People sit there and say, where is the money? Well, simple, the money ain't there. I mean, look, if you got the Republicans who's going to cut the bill down and make a fat cow a skinny cow, and they trim off all the fat, leaving just some meat, lean meat, and the bones, what do you get left? You get the bill, and they're basically saying 105 billion for schools and $1,200 stimulus checks, and then the rest is unemployment. So they're saying $200 instead of 600. They're saying they need to incentivize to get people back to work. But has anyone realized at this point in history, without $600, now I've done some research. Remember what I said many times over. People think I troll. I said the lazy bastard should get back to work. What I'm talking about, and I'll tell you this after I had some time to think about it last night. What upsets me is these lazy bastards on Social Security, survivors, retirement, SSI, disability insurance, VA, and railroad who say, well, I'm entitled to this money because I need my 1,200. But they're basically taking the fly, okay? Think of it as fly fishing. They're the fish that takes the hook, line, and sinker. And fly fishing, it's a weighted line. But you get the idea, right? So they take the bait because they are thirsty for another $1,200. Fortunately, they're not thinking about humanity who's suffering all over. Now, I used to say, well, people sit here and bitch about recurring payments. My main motto is, if you want a recurring payment, then my motto is that get a job, because that's a recurring payment, right? Now you can't just sit there and say the government owes you $5,000 when you're living on $783 a month. If you only qualify for SSI, then be happy you get SSI. You ain't doing jack about it, You know. So that's something I want to share with you. So, one of my family members asked me what's wrong with my phone. I don't use my phone. That's the thing. I only use it to take a shit. And when I use it to read the news. Okay, that's what I meant to say. I don't mean to say, I'm. I don't like using phones. Okay. So basically, let's get back to it. So there's no money currently. Okay, Mitch McConnell said it'd be a couple of weeks to hammer out a bill. Democrats said nope, we want $3 trillion. The Republicans turned around with Lindsey Graham and basically said that the Republicans will not, uh, half of them won't vote. Half of them won't vote. I mean, literally half of them. Half of them, half of the Republican Party in the Senate will not and could not vote. That's what they're saying. They're not going to vote. They're not going to vote because it seems, here's what I think, okay? Something is happening that they're doing whatever, okay? Remember what I said. You had three factions. I said this last few days. White House, the Democrats and Republicans. Democrats are waiting for the bill. They're hungry for this bill. They want to dissect this bill. Fortunately, how do you dissect a bill you don't get delivered? Okay, let's put it this way. I got a lot of tabs open. I got many tabs open. I got other tabs open. And yet, there's no news. Approximately almost 11:30 my time or 2:30 Eastern time. Why? Well, you got a guy that's being shown at the Capitol, you know. You got Mitch McConnell throwing a bone out there. You got Lindsey Graham saying half the Senate or 2/3 of them aren't going to vote. Tells you right there, there's a lot of problems. No, that's not the point. Good morning, Gail. The point is, you missed my point. Lindsey Graham just stated this morning that 50% to 2/3 or 75% of the Senate, of the Republican Senate, will not vote for this fourth economic package to stimulate the economy and to prop up and protect the people from coronavirus. That's what I'm saying. Mitch McConnell is saying it'll be a couple weeks before it gets hammered out to the Democrats. The Democrats, Gail, are so hungry for this bill, they're waiting for it. And on top of that, remember what Pee Wee said. The economy is being stimulated from the people getting their extra $600 a week supercharged unemployment. There is none. They're offering 100 to 200. The thing came out today, the rumor's coming out that's 200. They're going to trim $400, make this bill fit. On top, they're going to give a federal moratorium on evictions for 3 or 4 months. I mean, that is not a good deal right now. Our state's got it locked in until October, and I'll extend it again. There's 28 million people that's going to be homeless. 28 million. You know what the rumors are going around, Gail? Oh, I forgot. You probably don't know. 28 million Democrats are going to be homeless. You do the fucking math. 28 million people are going to be homeless, which means without a fucking mailing address, you can't fucking vote. Literally, they know this. They're just fucking dawdling a carrot. The country's going to shit, and everyone around wants that $1,200. Every greedy motherfucker wants that payment. They're dwelling on it. Yet they're not dwelling on the bigger picture, as I said. I've said it how many times, sis? The American people are dwelling on $1,200, but they're not looking over the overall picture. I've said it how many times in the last week? Democrats and Republicans won't budge. President can veto it just because he can be an ass and say, oh, well, this doesn't have payroll tax. Meanwhile, Lindsey Graham gets out on this morning, it says 50 to 75% of the Republicans won't even vote for this bill. They'll vote no. They're against it. 50 to 75. They're against $100 to $200 extended bonus for unemployment. They're against $1,200 stimuluses. They're against everything. I mean, literally, if they can't have what they want, fuck it. Let all the Americans suffer. Let them go hungry. Let them go without food. Let them live in tents. Let them, this is the only tactic, Gail, that they could fucking use right now to try to get reelected. Get this, Rita. Walmart offered or offend or government. Yeah, I don't even know what you're saying. You might want to use a spell checker. That just did not make sense, Gail, at all. Walmart. Morning, Joe. Good to see you. All I'm saying is look at the big picture here. The American people, there's people out there griping. They're going to vote him out of office, which the Republicans know. I mean, look, every hour gets us closer to the closing time for Monday. Then what? What happens, Gail? Monday, there's no bill, huh? Pee-wee said if. Pee-wee and I said if they deliver it today. There's a guy being buried today. I wouldn't want, in the Capitol. Do you think I, as a minister of God, would put a bill up on vote while John Lewis is being honored at the Capitol? I would feel like a fucking moron. I would feel like I am a fucking moron. Literally. I would feel like I'm a fucking moron. Basically getting ready to roll out a bill. I would have rolled it out in the morning, but they said afternoon. But afternoon could be after 5, after 6, after 7. Then what? Huh? Oh, well, it's too late today. We're just going to do it tomorrow. Meanwhile, the American people are fucking pissed off because they're talking about voting the bastards out because, every news media industry out there is basically saying they're skimming $400 of unemployment benefits off, and the stock market's going to tank, and the stock market's going to founder, and guess what's going to happen? These people are sitting there listening to fucking billionaires say that $1,200 aren't a good thing. Someone said something about giving $13,000 per person. I believe it was Elon Musk. Fortunately, the government wouldn't give everyone $13,000. I wish they would. Yeah, well, Walmart could have done that as a tax write-off too. I don't care. Well, I'll deal with that later. So, look, the American people could have got away with it. Walmart's big enough. Amazon could have done it. But you know what? These big companies, at least Walmart tried. Unfortunately, the American people, I mean, it's nice that Walmart thought about it. I should look into that real quick too, just to see. Let me see. So Walmart's offered special bonuses to cash their checks, the stimulus checks, so they can funnel the money into Walmart. People splurge on game systems. So I just read a report. So, but no. Basically, look, Mitch McConnell basically said it'd take a couple weeks. Lindsey Graham said that no one's going to vote for it. I mean, look, we're basically sitting in the balance, and John Lewis is being honored in the Capitol Rotunda. And yet, no offense to John Lewis or his family, and yet Mitch McConnell is using this day to basically strengthen the I'm not going to give an unemployment check or any news until maybe tomorrow. I mean, literally, they're dragging this out. They're basically going to kill off the American people. I mean, look, 28 million people to be homeless. 28 freaking million people without a moratorium. The moratorium's gone. And yet, people don't realize. I mean, does anyone realize that I've done my research this morning? I've looked over everything, and I can tell you that unless Mitch McConnell basically gets off his butt, I mean, look, like I said, the Democrats are hungry for this bill. The Democrats want to see what's in it so they can make a counter proposal, but the Republicans aren't doing it. The Republicans look like they're doing it. They're trying to fucking kill the bill, basically. It's two things that I think they're trying to do. They're trying to kill the bill. They're trying to kill this bill before it gets to the Democrats. So then they could drag this out as long as possible and then go out to vacation. I mean, but how many people think that? So, Joe, how are you this morning? I also think, where you guys call me an arsehole or a racist, and I'm not racist, I think the BLM has something to do with this too. The government's just like, the hell with it. Let them kill each other for their food. I mean, literally, the government, I think, might be setting up for martial law due to the fact that, in my opinion, not that I would think it's martial law, consider me a crackpot in that point, that that, they're not doing anything. I mean, look, they're basically allowing a bill to crumble the entire country. I mean, look at it that way. The entire country is going to fall. All because $600 have been cut down to $200, and no one can prop up the economy. Their rent might be more. But then again, these damn people don't want to get rid of their Cadillacs, their Corvettes, their Porsches, Jaguars. They want you to pay for them out of your tax dollar because they've earned it. So they don't want to be so lowly like a peasant and have to sell their fancy smancy car. They want to drive up and be like, my shit don't stink, but I need food at the food bank. I'm just going to get food. Economy might be basically teaching them a lesson. You're not wealthy. Don't live a wealthy life unless you have money. I'm not praying for anything, Joe. Why should I pray? It's not my job. I'm just saying the way it is. I mean, look at it this way. John Lewis is being having an honored at a ceremony at the Rotunda, and yet no one's talking about the stimulus checks. That tells you right there what you need to know. On top of that, the American people are tired. You got all these people, I'm tired of basically seeing these greedy people, Joe. Social Security, disability, retirement, survivors, SSI, veterans, railroad, all saying they need their $1,200. If they live on 783, they can keep living on 783. Country's going to go bankrupt if we keep fucking funneling money into these people to go to spend $1,200. What are they going to buy? That's the $1 million question. What will $1,200 buy you? No, I'm not selling my bunny for $1,200. I don't trust people. The bunny has character. He's got a life. But come to you to tell you about these things. Will there be a check? No, not unless someone gives in. No one knows why they're doing what they're doing. And that is what really bothers me the most. $1,200. $1,200 friggin' dollars. And yet, everyone's gobbling it up, demanding it. Now they're basically voting them out because they're not getting recurring payments like Canada. Canada gets recurring payments because Canada's population's low. Our country is for big businesses. Look at it that way. I mean, literally. There's too many people out there worried that they're going to get sick working, with a virus. Now, President said he wanted to make a generous stimulus. Generous. But right now, there's nothing generous when you got the Republicans not even planning to vote on it, or they're going to kill the bill. I mean, literally. And then the Democrats want to see it because they're hungry to see it so they can start negotiating. And the White House is just standing there around saying, what do we do? I mean, literally, there's so many factions that this country could go down the toilet. I mean, literally, a lot of people know that we're coming up to a crossroad or a bridge of no return. Honestly, look at it from that point of view. I mean, look, comes out this morning. American people are going to throw a shit fit. Same with the Democrats. Democrats want $600. They don't want $200. They want $50. They don't want $100. They want $600. But you know, a lot of these Democrats want what they want. The Republicans, some of these Republicans, I've contacted a few people in the Republican side of things. I'll tell you what they said. They said basically the reason they don't want to give in is because you give $2,400 and two family members, you know, $600 a week. Two family members, that's $1,200 a week, right? That's $4,800 for them to sit on their ass, and they're making more money sitting at home, right? What happens? Well, the fucking people that are struggling, like the SSI people, the veterans, the railroad, the disability insurance, the survivors, retirement, they're struggling. And then they're bitching to their local people, Democrats, Republicans. The Dems are like, well, these are working Americans that lost a job. You get a recurring payment every month, so don't worry about it. Whereas Republicans are saying, no, look at this. We're going to give these lazy Democrats money to stay home. And yet some of these people are struggling harder, and we're only going to give them $1,200, but we might give others more recurring weekly payments. No. So they're like, fuck it. Bill's dead. I mean, literally. I mean, they're basically seeing the inequality. They fought for. They're basically looking at the principles, the Republicans who abolished slavery under Lincoln, and they're looking at the people who are living at home, the elderly that are dying because they can't see their family, or the elderly that has to rely on the states to hopefully to extend food stamps. Meanwhile, at the same time, you got so many fronts coming up. One being the Black Lives Matter. Their lives matter, yes. Unfortunately, you got whites basically defending the blacks, which is good. Fortunately, you got federal agents who want to kill them all. I mean, you got that problem. You got the housing crisis that's looming, not including mortgage bubble again. That's going to pop. And then on top of this, there's banks canceling people's credit cards. And there's banks not opening loans. Literally. I have people that say, oh, banks will loan us whatever we want. We want a $100,000 pickup truck and a $250,000 fifth wheel. Do yeah, if you have the equity. If you don't have the money to put down, they're not going to fucking do it. Plus, even if you had like 50% of, say, $350,000, they're not going to loan because you might take the truck, drive all across country, live in it until, you know, I mean, they're looking after themselves. Big banks are looking after themselves. They're not going to loan any money out. Hell, they want the banks aren't even living up anyone's banking interest right now because of it, you know. And so right now, what's really sad, there's no one. I mean, literally. I mean, if you look at the bigger picture, right now, the American people are going to suffer. No, I know a lot of these Republicans want them to go back to work. This is their main reason for basically doing it, but they're doing it wrong. I mean, the American people are suffering. And that's what's really sad in this country. They're hurting. They're hurting to the point of no return. They know it too. But the 28 million people can't vote because they have no address, well, that could just turn the tides. I mean, literally. I mean, there's a lot going on in the mainstream media. Both sides aren't sharing everything. And to me, it's sad. I have to dig up things every morning with my coffee. And every morning I see this crap. And every morning it's sad. It's sad. It is sad that the American people are suffering to no end. I mean, literally. Hey, boo-boo. What's up, bum-bum? I mean, literally, there's a lot of people out there that are pissed. Pissed. They're pissed because, you know, they want to vote these clowns out of office, but voting them out, I think, oh, well, we'll get a stimulus check, but you won't get a stimulus check because you might be freaking completely and thoroughly homeless. You know? And that is sad, you know? And then you got these people that are doing clickbait, you know? I mean, literally. I mean, it's not good. So, you know, there's people out there that are actually agreeing with me that the economy will tank, you know. And the Democrats, I think, you know, I mean, literally. Someone said, you know, that they need at least 400 to feed their family. They don't care about feeding your family. They think you need to get off your ass and work. You know, people are complaining about their rent being so high. If your rent's so high, I mean, it's going to get crazy, you know. People are saying, oh, well, it's got to stay at 600. It won't. They literally, they're basically doing, no one cares. Right? Will they close the government? They probably will. This is political suicide and the economy will tank. But then again, they're not thinking about that. They're thinking about big business. Unless they're trying to tank the economy. I mean, literally. So, I mean, literally, there's a lot of people thinking that, you know, look at this. A lot of people are saying that it should be $2,000 stimulus. Well, that might be good, but do you think they're going to really budge? One guy says they got credit cards to live on. Yeah, but the people can't keep canceling cards. Then the banks. Then what? They're going to go hungry. Mm. One guy basically saying his rent's $11.45. Well, downsize. He's got electricity and car payments. Well, downsize. Government doesn't owe people, you know. They're not going to come to an agreement of 300 or 400. They're basically sitting at 200. You know, one guy said one person said he'll vote them out due to the fact that it needs to be 500 a week. Hmm. All these people are greedy. They think $600, but you know, there's too many people. I mean, look at that. They're basically. Yeah, a lot of people will be living out of their vehicles in tents. The guy said it himself. I mean, we're basically hurting to no end. So, literally, the American people, like I said, is suffering. You know, no one's going to be giving that kind of money. So, yeah. Good morning, Kimmy. The taxpayers are going to be hurting. I mean, literally, they're using this to their advantage to not pay a damn dime. I mean, my state's already extended the moratorium on rental keeping people in. I mean, my manager has been good to me, and she said there's people all over not paying their rent because they don't want it. They figure as long as the governor in this state keeps extending the moratorium, they don't got to pay bills and make payments. Meanwhile, everyone else is hurting. You know. And then, like I said, it's almost 3 p.m. Eastern time, and yet there is no bill that has been released to the public so I can actually sit down and read it for you all. Instead, we are all going to suffer. I mean, there's $1,200 on the table, yet, like I said, they're using every tactic they can. I mean, remember what I said, 28 million people could be homeless. Landlords have to tighten their belts. They're going to have to just kick people out. And if they do, that basically will get people not to they're going to vote, you know, against. And by the way, it's good to see you, Kimmy. They're going to vote Democrat. Unfortunately, if they have no address to um, go to because they're living in their car, that takes away 28 million votes right there on the top. The American people, they're going to suffer. Fortunately, I don't think they care. That's the real thing. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, right now, Lindsey Graham said that half of the Republicans, at least, maybe even 2/3, will not vote for this bill, which means that's dead on arrival, which means $1,200 we won't see. The Democrats, like I said, are hungry for this bill. They've waited, what is it now, 2 months and 12 or 13 days to see this bill, and yet nothing's passing. I mean, literally, we have to have enough information out there. And yet, the only thing holding the economy together is the $600 a week for unemployment, and that ain't going through. And now everyone's hoarding everything because they know until unemployment is retroactive that they're hoarding everything, which means unless you have a good supply of supplies at home, I mean, literally, and the Republicans think that this virus is a joke. I mean, literally, this virus is not a joke. This virus is deadly. What queen of the town, Joe? I mean, the other thing is the Republicans I've talked to, they said that again, the reason they want to vote against the bill is 30% of the people spent their money properly, 70% spent it foolishly. With China not filling their warehouses up, it's just, again, a giant crapshoot, you know. You know, I mean, it's sad. How have you been, Kimmy? Been seeing you in a while. Chloe's just munching on some beef jerky. I mean, I'm not going to pray because, frankly, I don't want to pray. What I want is to see something resolved before the economy tanks. I mean, literally. I mean, personally, I say vote them all out of office. The Republicans, they're basically killing a bill before they even get it delivered to the Democrats to see. And then the memos leak that they're giving 200 instead of 600. They should keep it at 600. But again, they think it's inequality because the unemployed, are getting more than the disabled people. The problem with the disabled people is they're suffering on higher food costs, and so too many people are seeing this. I mean, literally, I've posted to some of my channels videos where Lindsey Graham stated he won't, 50% of the people won't vote. I mean, we break it down. It might be 13 Republicans might vote at all for this bill. Everyone else might not. I mean, you're looking at a big, big picture of the economy's going to tank. That's why I keep telling you, stockpile food, buy water purification, do what you have to survive. I got a whole lamb coming tomorrow. I got 30 pounds of hamburger coming. I also am looking at getting 30 to 32 pounds of beef in various cuts. More lamb. I mean, again, there's too many people. Freezers are being delayed till October of 2020 to February 2021, just for chest freezers. We all got to look at the big picture. Anyone have any questions or concerns? Because frankly, like I said, this ain't good. This is making me sick to see that it's almost 3 p.m. Pacific Standard or Eastern Standard Times, and yet they have not even released their proposal to the American people. And that bothers me to no end as well. So I've said it many times over, they'll delay it as long as possible. They know the Democrats aren't going to budge. Democrats are trying to help the people with unemployment benefits, making sure the rent's covered, everything else. And yet, they're piecemealing one bill at a time. I think what it is they're having so much division and factions within the Republican Party that they know their bill's dead. But then again, remember what I said, there's 3 factions here: Democrats, Republicans, and the White House. And as you know, the White House will turn around and veto anything that doesn't have a payroll tax credit to cut Social Security out. Come here. Come here. What is it? What is it, little guy? What? What? You're sneaking over there to get a beef jerky, huh? Who wants a beef jerky?
Nobody knows. Here, we gave him 2.
Well, you don't get any more then. Little greedy McLaughlin. Look at him. Isn't it cute?
He likes jerky.
Well, he's a dog. He likes meat. Oh, hi. Fine. Go down. You're all good.
This one has little white spots on it.
That's fat. So, all I can say is we just got to sit back and wait. So, I will be updating you guys through and throughout the day with videos with this news. I'd like to get your guys' opinion in the comments. If anyone wants to comment, Joe, Kimmy, Gail. I mean, literally. Yeah, Gail said, she'll believe it when the bill is signed. Well, that's true. Fortunately, the bill won't be signed because the Republicans aren't releasing it. Every hour gets them closer to going home for the day, yet again. And yes, for new subscribers watching this or moderators that haven't come in like Kimmy, yes, that is a dishwasher I got. So,
Taco or chorizo flavored jerky would be good.
It'd be an interesting thing. I'm surprised someone hasn't come up with that idea. You have sausage tonight for dinner.
Well,
Wow.
I already had 2 pieces of jerky.
Hopefully you grabbed it, Gail. I mean, that's all I want to say, My schedule for today
Go and get Moppy.
is I'm going to do my schooling when I find my other book, wherever my book is. And then, well, wherever my study guide went, do you know where my study guide went?
What does it look like?
Says right here, by Broxy.
That one.
So, one of the things I'm going to do, everyone, is I'm going to go and read the next chapter in my book, take notes and get prepared for my school lesson today for online schooling. And then I will, when I'm done, it's about an hour and a half. Then when I get back, it'll probably be about 5:30 or 6. I will update you all then, unless something comes over the wire by then, because right now there is nothing, and I have a feeling, it's just a feeling, that the Republicans aren't going to release their bill today at all, only because people are throwing a fit, and they can't sign it. So, any questions, comments? Please feel free to give it now.
More coffee?
Yeah, make more coffee. Coffee is better than booze.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions or comments for me? Because right now it seems that everyone who's dwelling on $1,200 checks and more unemployment benefits aren't going to get it. We need to basically focus on other things. What's for din din? Lamb. I'm finishing up the lamb tonight. Lamb salad. See? Lamb. 30 minutes in the oven. It'll be tasty for tonight's dinner. No, I can't show you a piece of the lamb. The lamb is like this, okay? Lamb is in a bag. This is the lamb, fully cooked. You see? Bag of lamb. That's dinner tonight. When that's done, tomorrow's dinner is more lamb, which I got to take out tomorrow's lamb. Tomorrow's dinner is this.
You have lamb jerky?
They make lamb jerky, yes.
Is it true that Jesus ate lamb a lot?
Well, yeah, lamb was the staple in the Hebrew times. The lamb is really good. I mean, that's our staple here is lamb. So, anyways.
They're sheep burgers.
Well, yeah, lamb was a delicacy back then. Still is today. But lamb's also an acquired taste, too. So, anyways, any other questions before I go? So Gail says hello, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyways, I guess I will go for now, read my book, and get prepared for another update part 2 later when and if we have any news. So, please add and subscribe. Please post comments. Please leave feedback, suggestion, hit the like, subscribe button, so some funding for your family, including your dogs, your cats, your bunnies, your service dogs. Hit the bell notification, new content every day. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in this morning. I hope to have more better updated information soon. I'm going to watch game reviews, Joe, on YouTube. So thanks for watching, everyone, and God bless you in everything you do.